Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me on probably a very short, maybe 10 or 12-minute lunch and learn because I, as you can see, have a wedding to go to, and two of our very good friends are getting married today. And so I was sitting there getting ready and trying to find time all morning to not only figure out what I wanted to do for the lunch and learn, but to actually post it. And I also, once I posted, I was thinking, what do I really want to share today? What message do I want to give people today? And it came to me because I almost made an excuse not to do this episode with you guys today because I'm going to a wedding and we're leaving in about 25 minutes. I just got ready. I've got a lot of people coming over to go with us, and it's going to be a great wedding. It starts in about 90 minutes and it's all day and all night. So I'm organizing what the babysitter needs to do with my kids and who's picking up what, and I had to call the school to put people on the list, and I had to figure out what we're doing and when we're doing it and organize rides, and am I driving, are we not driving, are we Uber? And it dawned on me that it would have been really easy to just skip today. If I said, hey guys, we're not having a lunch and learn today because I'm going to a wedding, everyone would have been like, okay, no problem, have fun, see you Monday, enjoy your time. And I would have made an excuse because I can, and it's a very legitimate excuse, and you all would have bought it. Woo! It's not even a hard one to sell. Hey, I'm going to a wedding, right? That's a life event, right? So you easily would have bought that excuse. And, so I said, well, let me be the example that I wish to set and not make that excuse and show up for everybody that's been following my Lunch and Learns posts on live Facebook here, and on my YouTube channel, and give them some inspiration, because we all are faced with decisions every day. Should we or shouldn't we? And I think about a time, my daughter's 7.5, so it must have been a little over 7 years ago. And I was, just had a baby, like literally a month before, and our national convention was coming up. Now, I was the leader of my team. I was one of the top leaders in the entire company. Literally like number 3 or 2 or something. And I had just had a baby, and I live in California, and the event was all the way in Florida, right? My husband was working, so he couldn't come, and we had 2 other kids. So it wasn't in the cards financially or feasibly for my husband to come, and I can't leave a baby for 3 or 4 days because I'm breastfeeding and all that. And so would my team have totally understood if I said, hey guys, I have a 5-week-old baby flying across the country for 6 hours each way by myself, and going to an event is not in my cards. I could have made that excuse so easily, but I didn't. And I went to that event. And was it hard? Yeah. Was it challenging? Yes. I mean, I don't even know if I paid attention. I was pawning my baby off to all these people to hold while I was getting awards and speaking and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I really believe that people use everyday events to conjure up excuses because they don't want to do the work. Like, of course, I would have rather been drinking a glass of champagne right now, waiting for my friends to get here. But instead, I made the decision to come here and talk to you guys because I've made a commitment, and I love doing these Lunch and Learn episodes. I love pouring value into you guys. And I thought, what better than to take the excuse that I almost made and turn it into a lesson? Because we all have life, guys, and some of it sounds really legitimate, right? But, like people are like, oh, I have a baby shower today. No, I can't do 3-way calls. Well, why don't you do a 3-way call while you're getting ready? Why don't you do a 3-way call while you're cleaning up your living room or putting away toys or putting out the food? You can easily put a headset in and, clamp your phone onto your belt and walk around. Oh, I have too much to do. I've got laundry. Great. That is the perfect time to listen to your 10 minutes a day of personal development. Plop your iPad down, watch a video, or put your headphones in and listen to an audiobook. Like, every day you're going to find really great justifications to yourself to make an excuse. And I love the famous saying, I have no idea who said it. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. And guys, our lives have a lot of great, really well-planned excuses. I mean, some people have a whole arsenal. Oh, but I have kids. So do I. But I have, my husband works. So does mine. But I have laundry to do, so do I. But I have dishes to do, so do I. But I have sports, so do I. But I have church, so do I. Keep telling me all your excuses and I'll keep telling you how I did it anyway. Just remember that somebody who has your situation or even worse than your situation, because I'll tell you right now, no matter how bad or slim or crappy or overwhelmed you are, how disadvantaged you think you are, somebody right now in history, right now today, who has it worse than you is succeeding anyway. You know why? Because they're not looking for excuses to keep them from doing the things that they have to do and they know they're going to have to do in order to move their business forward. So every day when you say, I can't, why don't you stop and say, but how can I? Okay, this is what I don't think I can do. Can I really not go to this meeting tonight? Can I really not take this call? Can I really not make this phone call? Can I really not send this video? And start turning your automatic response of excuse, because remember you guys, I told you, I think it was yesterday, that your brain will sabotage you because it wants to keep you safe. And making that phone call is unsafe because you're scared to do it. So we find ways to say no. But I have, my thing tonight. Well, you're going to a wedding. Okay, like weddings are a big deal. Like, are you in the wedding? No. Okay, well, the ceremony is 20 minutes, and then you have usually about 45 minutes between the ceremony and the reception. Make a call then if it's that important to you. I mean, can you take days off? Of course. And there's a huge difference between making sacrifices and having self-discipline and then just using everything. But some people, it's like they literally never have time ever. And I'm just like, well, how much TV did you watch? So my whole point in this is there's always going to be a great reason to not do it. Oh, I just wanted to sit and play with my daughter today. Well, so did I. But you know what? I went out and changed a life instead. So guys, don't look for excuses because you can. And you know what? Some of them are so good. God, you want to know my best one? And I better get a crap ton of loves for this one on Facebook. Is my mother was diagnosed in November of 2012 with stage 4 lung cancer. They found her at stage freaking 4 because her lungs collapsed and we had to rush her to the hospital. And she spent 5 weeks in the hospital. And I could have said, guys, my mom is dying. I need to spend every moment with her. But you know what I did? I went, because I had a team of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. I took my laptop every single day, not some days, every single day. And I went and I sat by her bed while she slept the majority of the time. And I worked and I went through reports and I sent emails and I stepped out and I did calls and I did training and I did everything that I normally did because my mother would have wanted me to. I could have easily, everybody would have excused me on that one. I could have gotten mulligans for 5 weeks. But I ran someone to the highest level of the comp plan that month. And 8 months after she died, I hit a rank in that company that only 8 people were that rank or higher out of hundreds of thousands of people. Yes, I mourned. Yes, I was sad. Yes, I, had days where I didn't want to do anything. Yes, I had days where I cried all day long. But I still went back to work. I didn't make excuses because her life ended doesn't mean that mine should too. And so guys, John Maxwell, one of my greatest mentors, says, when something bad happens to you, when you have a squabble with someone on your team or something happens and you're just down on yourself, whether it's business or personal, you have 24 hours and then you better get the heck over it. If you are whining for more than 24 hours and you have a victim mentality, then you're so attached to that emotion that you're just going to keep you exactly where you are, because the opposite of success is not failure, it's mediocrity. And only mediocre people get caught up in feelings and emotions, and don't do anything to change their situation. The successful people, they move on. because they realize that their efforts, their brain, their emotions, and their focus is better off spending it somewhere that's going to change lives instead of keep them back. So you have 24 hours. You know, next time your first impulse is to say no, just remember, you're only saying no to your legacy. See, I know that every time I, say no, that I'm saying no to me. I'm saying no to my growth. I'm saying no to my, because people on the other, like, I don't help people in the, the company that are outside my line. So everything that I'm saying no to was going to grow my business. Everything you're saying no to was going to grow your team, was going to grow your paycheck, was going to grow your legacy. And entrepreneurs don't call in sick on themselves, and entrepreneurs sure don't find a way to say no. They are always looking for some way to say yes, and they get creative on how to say yes. Does that mean that you need to be glued to your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Absolutely not. There are times in my house that I put my phone down to have a conversation with my daughter, to read her a book, because I'm not going to sit there and read a book and be on the phone, because all I'm saying to her is, let's just get through this because there's something more important than you. I don't do that when I'm spending time with my kids. Now, if I'm watching TV with them, like last night, they were watching Maleficent and they wanted me to sit there with them. So I sat there and I told them, I said, I've got a couple things I need to do. And I did that. But I don't have my phone. We have a policy in our house now. There's no phone at dinner time. Guys, it's 20 minutes. Put down your phone at dinner time. Don't schedule calls during dinner. I don't schedule calls between 5:30 or 5:45 and 6:30, 6:45 every day, because I know that our family dinner is going to fall in that. But I don't say, no, I can't do a call. I say, well, what about these times? If they say, can you do a call at 6 o'clock? No, but this is when I can, right? So a lot of people just want to say no because they don't want to do the call. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to get uncomfortable. They don't want to stretch. So are you making excuses because it sounds legitimate and people will buy them? Here's what I know. That the accountability zone goes both ways. Not only do I not make excuses, but I don't take excuses. Meaning, if you tell me, oh, I'm sorry, Tara, I have this. I'm like, really? What? Well, what can you do? You know what I mean? Oh, I can't afford to go to, I had a lady that called me on another team in another company. She wasn't even on my team. And she said, you know what? My upline said, if I don't go to this event, that she's not going to work with me. Do you treat your team like that? And you know what, guys? It would have been so easy for me to say, no, I don't. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. I really hope it gets better, and gave her the hug that she wanted, because that's what she wanted from me, is a hug. You know what I said to that person? I said, why aren't you going to the event? Well, because it's picking season, and my husband and I work in the growing business. I said, what days do you have to work? And she told me. Bottom line is, I sat there and I listened to her, and I said, what can you do? What is possible? She wasn't even on my team, guys, because I so live in the accountability zone. I said, what are you able to do? Long story short, she messaged me. She went to that event. She couldn't stay the whole time, and she only, she had to fly in and fly out at certain times. But she went for about 75% of the event and called me or messaged me after that and said, thank you for just being you and listening to me. But guys, I think a lot of times people make excuses because they don't have the creativity to stop themselves. So are you making excuses because they sound good and people will buy them? Because boy, I got stuff all the time people will buy. My mom dying, check mark, people would have bought. Brand new baby, flying across the country, people would have bought. Got a funeral today, people would buy that. Got to go to a wedding today, you all would have been like, good, you would have all let me off the hook. You don't let me off the hook ever. If I try to give you an excuse and I'm not having my lunch and learn unless I'm literally on a plane or, somewhere that is legitimate, don't say you can't do it, Tar, because I could grab my phone and I could sit outside wherever I am for 5 minutes and give you 5 minutes of wisdom every day if I really wanted to. So I'm going to leave you with this. Don't make excuses because you can and you think people will buy them, because you are only making excuses on you and your business and your team and your paycheck and your legacy. If you want something bad enough, you will find a way. If not, you will continue to find excuses, and you can make money and you can make impact and you can make a difference and you can make change and you can make progress, or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. I love you guys. I will see my amazing loyal fans on Monday. I hope to bring you some good, fresh content, and I just want to say thank you for joining in with me. And remember, please subscribe, youtube.com/Create Wealth with Tara, so you never miss another episode. And have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you. I'll see you Monday.